Defiant to the end, huh?
What you gonna do, huh? We've swept this place. You've got nothing. We have guns.
No, what you have are bullets, and the hope that when your guns are empty, I'm no longer standing, because if I am, you'll all be dead before you've reloaded.
That's impossible. Kill him.
My turn. Beneath this mask, there is more than flesh. Beneath this mask, there is an idea. And ideas are bulletproof.
What's up, everyone? How you going? Just thought I'd do a bit of a late night, very impromptu draw stream to finish off this page I've been working on. And I haven't, I feel like I miss you guys because I'm doing more of these videos, not streaming as much. And I just thought I would, I was just hanging out with Shant and Camel and Rob over on Shant's channel, and I was having fun. And then the party ended. So, yeah, let's just hang out for a little bit. Probably be, I don't know, an hour and a bit or so. I don't think I have too much left on this, but look at this. First in my chat is Dongs. CG Royalty in the house here. He was saying Boo and Croft. Love it. Atheline's here. Gluminati. Geekazu. There's my wife. Budgie Smugglers, Tequila. The sombrero and the potato all together. Says we like it. D's in the house. He says, let's go. Creators Outlet. Who else is here? 7 of 9 and more CG Royalty. Love to see it. That movie wasn't such a communist piece of trash. I'd actually like it. That is my favorite comic book movie of all time. Maybe even one of my favorite movies, Ken Jack Ben. So you be careful with what you say around me for that movie. Well done and dung. I didn't say fake geek girls. I think I just said fake geeks. Hal Jeremy Burtz. Who else is here? Well hung and dung says lovely work. Thank you. Yeah, I've been slaving over this piece, but it's gotta get it done. Oh, thank you, 7. That's very nice. Dear man likes the page too. I'll hail all later. All right, excellent. This is like old school. Under 20 people. Just hanging in the chat. I'm going to keep the chat up here in case you guys... I'm not going to like bring up your chats in case... so I can actually work. But I'll be reading it. I'll be reading the chat. I'll be responding. Ken Jack Ben is spamming my chat with pumpkins and the friggin' Spock symbol. I'm probably okay with that. All right. Let's see what we're doing here. So, but essentially what I'm doing, just in case anyone actually cares, see all these little things here? That's like the highlights of the skulls. I can show you what it looks like when I... Whoa, didn't mean to do that. I can show you what it looks like when I turn them off. So it's just a little bit of extra light. A little bit extra 3D definition. You see that? I don't know if you can, because I can't see what the screen sees, but yeah, so not much left to go, and we'll be done. Another page bites the dust. I mean, not just any other page. This is a humdinger, a doozy. D says V was a good read as well. I liked the movie more than I like the book. The movie, the book was like all about like Thatcher, you know, you could tell. I just don't think it was like well structured. Those Wachowskis back in the day knew how to put a movie together. Did they work on that script, or did someone else? I can't remember, but either way, it was a damn good movie. It's funny though now, like, because they were worried back in the day that some nut job right-wing party would use a pandemic to take over the country and ban gays and Muslims. It sounds so ridiculous now. Like, the exact opposite happened. It was the really like the left that came out and started getting authoritarian on everyone's ass, at least in my country. And I don't know if you guys are out like looking what's going on out there, but ain't no gays getting banned anywhere. No one's gonna kill you for having a Quran in your house. D agrees, make some pop. Yeah, I agree too. You got to have it. And like, as well, I like the idea that even if not every single skull is 100% unique. I mean, I drew every single skull, but some of them I copied and pasted. Just don't tell anyone. At least the highlights are all handmade. How about that? You know, a little consolation. SDA is Grumpy Moon. Hang on, I have to pull this up. That is the best avatar ever. Like that, Shant is going to clip that out. That was like one of the funniest moments I've had on a Comicsgate stream in a while. And I got on Camel Knights and the video game show. That was hilarious. But if you didn't catch it, it's coming. Just wait, you'll see it. It's all about Karen Moon and how grumpy he gets on a plane. It's good stuff. Ken says, I'm a red-blooded, patriotic American. Can't stand socialist or communist imagery, even if it's used to illustrate a point and a positive message. Well, don't get me wrong, Ken Jack Ben. There's no love lost between me and the commies or the socialists. I can't stand it either. But look, at this, within the context of the movie, I mean, like, what does it say in the Declaration of Independence? A tyrant, a prince who is thus marked as blah blah as a tyrant is unfit to be a ruler of a free people. I'm pretty sure that's verbatim. I'm pretty sure that's how it goes. And it's on the duty of the people to overthrow their government when they become tyrannical. That's all I see happening in V for Vendetta. That's a tyrannical government, and there's nothing more patriotic than overthrowing a tyrannical government, in my mind. Pork Hunt says, will Bancroft finish a race? Unlike a small German leader, the chat wants to know. You better believe I'm going to finish this, Pork. I mean, it's not going to take that long. I don't hope, although we'll see. No distractions tonight. No other guests. Just me, my tablet, and you guys in the chat. Mr. Dong wants to point out V was anarchist, not communist. Excellently articulated, Dongs. Anarchy in the UK. Sutler was an a-hole. I didn't like Sutler was a proper fascist. He wasn't one of these like you know, oh, fascism is taking over the states because mean tweets kind of thing, you know? It wasn't like that. Oh, is Sumo here? Is this live? Yes, Sumo. I see you, buddy. Would I pre-record? Do you think so little of me that I would pre-record me doing this and upload it for revenue? Don't tempt me. I might, now that you've put that idea in my head. I've been getting YouTube revenue, like ad revenue, for the first time ever. And I got a little taste of it and I like it. I'm putting ads on everything I can. Dong says everyone's a libertarian until a road's got to get made. Yeah, Dongs, I think everyone should have a libertarian phase, though. I think that's healthy. You know? Like, grow out of it, sure. But, yeah, it's not, look, there's worse things to be than a libertarian. My estimation. Bit of anarchy, never, you know? Better than communism. Enough. Why are we talking about this? Arthurline says the author of that comic has no idea what fascism is, and that's funny. That is true. That is very true. Yeah, he never even saw V for Vendetta the movie because he knew how different it was to his vision. Because they actually portrayed fascism in the book. But you know, yeah, lefties don't really have much of an idea. Is Alan Moore a communist? Probably is. Who knows? Agent Cub is in the house and he says, "How's it going, old chum?" It's going great. I'm about to finish this. I mean, it's not really a page because I work in panels. I don't like work on pages. It's a throwback to my old webtoon days. This is just how I'm used to it. So, but it's a hell of a panel. Not many others are going to be this intense. Pork Hunt says he's a straight out traditional anarchist. All right. 7 of 9 says, I should have gotten the puzzle. There will be puzzles on the Paint to Death campaign. You better believe it. Probably more than one. 500, 1,000 piece. What's your flavor? What's your brand? What do you like? Puzzle Man is here to facilitate. Agent Cub says, did you draw all those skulls? Depends on what you mean by draw. Yes, I drew them all. Did I draw every single one of them individually? It's up to interpretation. There may have been some copy and paste some places, but I didn't just copy and paste how you imagine I might have. I made sure there was variation involved. It wasn't a lazy cut and paste. Let me just say it like that. Because what happens it ended up looking like a pattern. And I didn't want that. I wanted it to look legit. 2,000 years of should I say that? Harvesting these skulls and sticking them up on the ceiling in decoration, commemoration, their sacrifice. You know, gotta reward that. Did you make the skulls into a brush? No, I use one brush. I'm a one brush man, always have been. Very loyal, monogamous to my brushes. I don't get into the whole digital tomfoolery. There's enough. I do enough digital tomfoolery with like 3D models and you know, like you can mesh transform stuff if you've drawn it wonky. I didn't need to like have the brushes draw for me. That's a bridge too far. I've got a certain look I'm going for. There's a couple of noticeable dupes, but looks like you chunked them. I may have chunked them here and there. But here's the thing. I'm like highlighting them all individually. So that's like masking it, you know? At least hopefully. Plus, if you are the kind of person who's going to get out your binoculars, your magnifying glass, and inspect my work like that, I salute you. And I want to give you a reward. And your reward will be you'll be the one to find the duplicates. It was an energetic copy and paste, industrious even. Yeah. Work smart, not hard. Well, work smart and hard. That's my motto. And you'll be double awesome. Bancroft's brush is a wonky donkey? I haven't heard that phrase, pork. I like it. Just got to go in and check the mask every now and then for a little bit of consistency's sake. I do like things in a shot like this. It's like Wes Anderson style, you know, symmetrical. I like things to be symmetrical. Agent Cub, I use in Clip Studio Paint. I color in Photoshop. So I draw in Clip Studio, much better for inking, line art and stuff. But I'm a Photoshop man. Like this alone, can you guys even see this? Hold on a sec. You guys even see my brush doing this? Hang on, no, my brush. Yeah, that. See that? Clip Studio Paint doesn't have this. If they had this, I might consider it. All I have to do is hold down a key and I can change the size of my brush by going back and like side to side. Yeah. And plus, I'm just used to photo. Like I work in Photoshop for my day job, so I'm super used to it. But yeah, no, I do concede Clip Studio is. I mean, Clip Studio has also got the perspective rules, without which I would have no choice. I would have no hope, I should say. Did you send out the right press staff, or did it get sent from the US direct? Yes, I sent out a bunch of stuff from Riot Press. I thought he was saying there was some more. I know that was Matthew Fowler says there's some more coming. No, I sent all the Riot Press stuff out. That's why it's got my PO box on it. Old Dirty Fatty says, I bet you saved masks. Me? Masks? What are you talking about, Old Dirty Fatty? Would I save masks? That would just be clever of me if I were to save all these masks. I've got a mask folder. If I have to lasso something more than once, I get irritated. I think this is a bit dark here. Light, sorry. What time is it where you're at? It is 8 o'clock at night. Pork Hunt says, oh, I said that too fast. Damn it. My channel is in jeopardy. Pork Hunt says, when will there be an Aussie CG meetup? Where you at, Pork? You in Melbourne? There's a bunch of us in Melbourne. So if it was going to be anywhere, it would be here. I have a day job. I use Photoshop. Ew. I don't know what that means. Yeah, so we've got well, myself. Hold on, let me get my thing back going. Yeah. Always dramatic pause when I say Pork's name. Always. It's tradition now. Yeah, so we got myself, Rob Arnold, Clayton Barton, Corey Barton, and Dean, Comics Mate, are all in Melbourne. So that leaves Kemosabe, Hockey. Who else? Who else is an Aussie? I don't think Liam wants to join us. Maybe he does. I don't know if Rob would like Liam to join us, though. You know? I wouldn't mind. Pork says he's in Tassie, but can fly like most pigs. I like the gumption. All right. Well, I'm going to meet up with Rob on Sunday. We're having a bit of a family get together. We're going up to his neck of the woods. He's up north in the in the country area. He's got kangaroos and stuff out there. He's not like in civilization. I'll report back and I'll let you know if it's like something that we can organize. I definitely would. Absolutely. I'd like to hang out. We can go to a pub, drink a VB. Or you can drink something fancier if you want. I don't know what your style is. Oh, damn it. I hate it when it does that. Hold on. Don't forget to invite Liam, says Pete Callan. Well, Liam's up in, does he say where he's at? I don't know if I should say. He's up in New South Wales, so everyone knows that. I don't know if I should say, I don't know if he's let everyone know where he is. He's in the middle on the East Coast. We're at the bottom. And I think Hockey's up in Queensland. Can we go shooting roos? I don't know if you're allowed in Victoria. I wouldn't imagine you can. Maybe you can. All right, let me check what I've done here. Let me check my work. Getting close now. Getting very close. Ken says, I don't know, have you ever eaten kangaroo meat? Yes. Many, many, many times. And it's nothing to write home about. I wouldn't recommend it. Mel says, isn't Hockey in country New South Wales? I thought he was, oh no, maybe it's Chemo. Yeah, maybe it's Chemo who's in Queensland. And Hockey is in New South Wales. Yeah. What would we do? Would we just go to a pub? Just go to a good pub and hang out for a bit? Like, do we need to do anything else? I've actually met up with Bartons and Rob before. I've seen them in the flesh. It was odd. It was the first time I ever in my life like went and hung out with people I'd met on the internet. But that was a while ago now. It's probably like a year and a half ago. Seven says that dude is menacing. Excellent. Yeah, he should be. He's dripping with this bloody viscous fluid. And he doesn't care. He's just like, I'm going to walk around like this. He's not fazed by it. It's like he's done it before. Like an uncountable number of times, I would say. On the next page, you see him. He walks down off the thing, and he's got like a lady in a robe, and she pulls a chain, and all this water comes down and washes it off him. And then she puts a robe on him, and she's like, he doesn't put the robe on. She puts the robe on him. That's what powerful people do. They don't put their own robes on. And I had to decide whether or not, because he's naked, obviously, to show everything about him. I ended up deciding it was a bit of an unnecessary distraction. Even though I drew it, I ended up inking it in over the top. Because his arm was like this, so it could theoretically, it could realistically cast a shadow over his nether regions. 7 says it took time to collect that many skulls. Thousands of years, my friend. Thousands of years. Because we can't actually see how far this hole goes in this chamber, this underground, deep underground chamber goes. It goes deep. Yeah. Now, this is a really important place to the story of the Lucent. It's very much a kind of a linchpin setting. So I wanted it to be impactful. It plays a big role in the story. Not only the meaning of the place, what goes on here, but also the location itself is like, it will play a big role in the in the story as it plays out. So, like, for a place like this, I like to give a big welcome, a big establishing shot. So that's why I'm spending this much time on it. Way more time than I would on just a regular page. Seven says it's very clean for being so old. Well, I guess. So I could draw some dust in. How do you draw dust and cobwebs? Like, I can imagine they have a small group of caretakers. And let's invent this right now. I hadn't really thought about that. We can invent the law right now. There's a small group. I'm going to say a dozen caretakers who, like, get the cobwebs off these, what are these things called? Someone told me what they're called, these lantern things. And that's their job. I mean, that's their entire life, is to just, they keep these columns clean and tidy. They make sure too much dust doesn't accumulate in all the cuneiform. They're responsible for keeping these lanterns, the fuel that's in them, whether it's oil or whatever it is, I don't know how this stuff works. Always fueled, ready to go for whenever someone needs the facilities, so to speak. Someone needs to take a dip in the blood pool. Now, Snarkticon says power washers. No. This ain't, like, you're not going to power wash this cuneiform. This tells the story of this entire organization going back thousands of years. You're not going to power wash that. Like, can you imagine power washing? Like, even if they're invented, like, 2 decades ago. Even I think 2 decades would be enough. You'd start to see a decline in the quality of your inscriptions. To get the old kasha out. Yeah. Go down to Bunnings and get yourself a kasha. Yeah. Jaro, are these caretakers there by choice? They're paid, or at least they're probably they can lead like a you know what, I don't even know if they are like paid. I reckon they're devoted, you know? It's like they're devoted to their duty. At that. So they're definitely, you know, they're looked after. They've got a quarters. They wear when they're needed. Hang on, let me pull this up for you guys so you can see one of them. I've already drawn one. And you've seen them. I'll pull this up. How about this? Let's have a look. Can you see that? So there he is. He's stumbled out. Hang on, I gotta see my screen here so I can see it. Yeah, he's stumbled out. He's dripping his ooze behind him, and she's there. She's got her hand on the. So this is one of them. Now she's special because she gets to deliver him the robe, you know, the Lord's robe for after he gets doused. And this guy here, he's not one of them. He is someone else. I'll tell you who he is, actually, because it's late. No one's watching. This order, it's called the Luminary Order. And this guy here in the suit, he's a member of the Luminary Guard. And he's come down here where he really shouldn't be. Like, this is not normal that he's down here. But he's rushed down because he has a very important message to deliver. Not the liminal order, no, luminary, as in glowing. D points out those of the faith serve without question. Yeah, absolutely. This is a very ancient organization. I want to show you guys the I like this up here, like these skulls. Yeah, up close and personal. I thought it was cool. Let there be light, indeed. I want to show you guys the dowsing. So she's got that chain. That says there's obviously some kind of mechanism up there that will douse you when needed. So there he is getting doused, getting his shower, cleaning all the goop off. And she's gonna robe him afterwards. And he's gonna be saying to this guy, he'll be like, "What do you want? Why are you here?" And he's got a very important message to give him that relates to what's happening in the book. All ties in. The events, if anyone read Waking Dream, like something pretty big happened at the end of that. An event like that is going to send shockwaves through the world. Well, through their world. These guys are going to cover it up, but it's still going to send shockwaves. Yeah, Hicks Villain says now someone has to mop that up. Well, luckily, we've got a dozen caretakers, catacomb caretakers, who are only too happy to get the mop out, dry things up, clean things up. It's all good. That's their life's work. They live down here. I'm going to say they don't even leave. They don't even leave. They have a quarters down here. And this is where they stay. It's a life of servitude. And they're well looked after. Why do they do it? We have to ask them. Absolutely none of this is going to be in book. We could do a side book, a supplemental about the Caretakers Union and the Caretakers Union strike of 1412 and what happened to them. I don't think this particular organization, this secret society, I don't think they're going to respect the picket line, if you know what I mean. Let's just say that. That's my guess. We're making this up on the fly. That's why I love stories. When you've got a good story, like as in it's properly the world. I've been working on this world for God, over a decade. This sort of stuff, because everything's already set up. You can fill in the blanks whenever and however. It's fine. Like there's nothing's gonna rock it. All the rules are laid out. Someone said earlier you could clean this by magic. It's not that kind of story. The magic, quote unquote, the powers, whatever you want to call them, that exist in the Lucent they're not like that. They're pretty, they're pretty specific. They're pretty I think they're certainly powerful. Like some people are certainly godlike in the Lucent. But no, they can't just do whatever they want. They don't have, I don't think there's anyone with like cleaning superpowers. Runs with Scissors says they have a space on the ceiling waiting for them eventually. Yes. I love it. Their fate, their final fate is to look down upon the catacombs in which they lived and worked for all time, for eternity. Runs with Scissors says maybe those are all just the skulls of the past cleaners. I don't think there's been that many. There's a lot of, I don't want to know how many skulls are here, but a lot. SDA, so it's not like Harry Potter then? No. And I'm a fan of Harry Potter, don't get me wrong. I'm a big fan of Harry Potter, and I'm becoming increasingly a fan of J.K. Rowling again. She kind of lost me for a while. I mean, she's she's one of those, but she's also she's like a woman of her place and time. I can't expect too much from people because they just end up disappointing you, but she hasn't lately. She's standing up for the truth, and I stand behind J.K. Rowling. Yeah, no, it's not like wave a wand around kind of powers. And it's like, it's not science fiction either. I'm not like that. It's like there's no natural explanation for anything that happens in the Lucent, like scientific or anything like that. It is fantasy. But yeah, there's clear rules, there's clear power sets. There's only so much people can do. The vast majority of it is just, as you would imagine, sort of like enhanced human abilities. It's like the overwhelming majority of it. But there's some people who are like, yeah, much more godlike in what they're capable of. Seven says JK is a good dude. Is that JK Simmons? Yeah, she said men. It's not transphobic to say men are men and women are women. I mean, this is where we're at, yeah. Runs the Scissors. Question: when you finish photoshopping, does the printed version match, or is there a slight difference? On this piece, very slight difference. On other pieces I've done, big difference. That's because of the colors. There's no colors in here that are particularly unprintable. I actually have it set up so that I can like check the proofs. So I have it just a quick setup as a shortcut. So this is like values, so I can check it in black and white to make sure the values are working and everything. But I can also set that up, so CMYK. Now the only place you're going to see it if is I zoom in here. All right, get used to that. Do you see the difference? So that's RGB, slightly brighter on the brightest areas here. And then that's kind of disappears in CMYK. But in the total scheme of things, no, it should be able to print pretty much exactly how it is. You know, I'll run it through my pre-press system, which is like, you know, I just make sure there's like the blacks aren't too heavy in the colors, so it doesn't come out muddy. And other than that, yeah, this should print out real good. So I'm thinking I'll make a print of this, probably make a puzzle. I think it'll make a great puzzle. And yeah, obviously it'll be in the book. Sounds a bit like 40K and The Elder. Yeah, I'm not familiar. I have actually heard that before. People have said that. Well, I don't really know. I think, here's what I think. I think the whole system of the way it works in the Lucent, and in terms of storytelling, because it is sort of like a Chosen One story, but I think it's that and the way the powers work and everything is unique. I don't think it's been done before as I have it exactly. Like I truly do think that, even though it you know, clearly has similarities with certain things, it's yeah, I think I've come up with something unique. I hope anyway. Either way, even if it isn't 100% unique, because I'm not aware of everything that's out there, it'll be very enjoyable. So, and there's rules, like, you know, I don't just want to like, you know, I hate it when they just like, this is the crap thing about superheroes, is when there's no limit, they can just introduce a new character that's more powerful and more powerful and more powerful, and it's just like all those older characters that I loved that were super powerful, they're diminished. So yeah, that annoys me. I don't want to write a story like that. I want there to be, you know who's super powerful. You get an inkling, and yeah, that's the way I like doing it. I'm going much more the kind of what I know of manga. It'll be a story. I mean, it'll continue. It'll start with book 1. It'll go through to book 6. And, you know, that's the story. And there'll be other books along the way, you know, because it deals with history. So I'm going to be doing, you know, side books as I go. So that everyone who's a member now is actually paying for the production of the first side book, which is called Fractured Mind. All the Lucent books have a specific naming. What is it called? Like a convention. So you got Lucent Waking Dream, Painted Death, Fractured Mind. They're all going to be like that. That's like important to me. I like that stuff. And yeah, so Fractured Mind. It's like it's standalone story, but you know, it's all it'll be the characters that you are familiar with, and that's set 6 months before the beginning of Waking Dream. So it's kind of like a little bit of a prequel. And then I think the next one after that, I'm going way back. I'm going back to England at the time of the Vikings, and like when they thought they were wizards. But were they wizards? No. They were these guys. You know what I'm saying? Meriden Wilt, Merlin, these historical wizards. Let's check it out. Antoine says the Lucent Bogan is that Bogan Discord painted? No, that's too many, isn't it? Yeah, I'm not going to do the Lucent Bogan Discord anyway, Antoine. As much as I might want to. 7 of 9 says, if you're smart, you'll really enjoy Painted Death. I think you will. I think you will. Yeah, so I'm going to do like a Viking wizard, Lucent book. I think that's what I'm going to do. It's going to be awesome. Part 4, says Johnny Rando, Golden Gay Time. Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't I? But that's not the fun thing, you know. The history. You know, I started the book. God, what was it, like 4,000 years BC? There's a lot of history we can play around with. These guys have been in civilization doing stuff the whole time behind the scenes. You know, we've been seeing them. We just didn't know who they were and what they were capable of. I find that stuff super fun. You know, you can just like pick out historical character, like real historical people, and like retell their story as though they're part of your story. That's my plan. Like, so I've included, you know, well, Gilgamesh is in the first 10 pages of Painted Death. Gilgamesh's visit to Utnapishtim. He's searching for eternal life. You start to pick up the themes of the story. I think you guys are going to love it. I really do. I love it. It's like, it's all I want to do. It really is all I want to do. Everything that I'm working towards is so I can just be doing this. And I got years and years of stories to tell if you guys will back it and help me. D says, like the Men in Black. Yeah, well, that's kind of what the Luminary Guard are kind of based on. The Men in Black, you know. They've always been there. People have always talked about them, but no one really knows who they are or what they do. I'm not talking about Will Smith either. Different. I mean, yeah, there's no aliens. Well, I mean, if you want to put aliens in there, that's up to you, but I won't be getting into that. 7 says, you think you can escape death? You can't even resist sleep. That is taken directly from the Epic of Gilgamesh. That's in the book. If you want to go read it already, you can go there. But that's how Utnapishtim tests Gilgamesh's commitment to immortality. You seek to defy death, yet you cannot even defy sleep. And yeah, in case you haven't picked up, and I know some of you might not have read Waking Dream yet, the sleep and dreams play a pivotal role in how these powers in the story manifest. Oh, we got Michael Odin in the house. How you going, buddy? Yeah, I'm finishing this up, and then I'm going to get to work on something else, if you know what I mean. Wink, wink. Nudge, nudge. I think I'll be able to finish this very quickly. I've only got a few more skulls left to color in here. Pork Hunt says, oh, I didn't pause enough there. God, he gets me. Is this romper room or play school? I don't know if our American friends had those. I think, are they Australian? They're Australian kids' TV shows. The romper room was like, that's from the 80s. I don't know, maybe it was British. I can't remember. Pete says, Bancroft talking about masturbating. When was I talking about masturbating? Maybe some innuendo. Not above that. Antoine says we had romper room. All right, there you go. It was play school's kind of the same. I don't know if romper room is still going, but play school is still going. Like my kids all both watch play school. L.E. Muniz says romper room is American. Romper stomper is. Yeah, that's different. Romper stomper is different. Oh man, that movie terrified me. That's from Melbourne, and I was just like, and I there used to be guys like that in Melbourne. I remember seeing them, in the skinheads with the bomber jackets and the boots and everything. You'd see them at the train station. Actually, it was like there was a scene filmed at Richmond train station where I would frequent. That terrified me when I was a kid. Why was I watching Romper Stomper when I was a kid? Because I was watching Predator and Nightmare on Elm Street, but they were fake. Like Romper Stomper was real, too real. Seven says, it looks great so far. Get it through my mailbox so I can photograph it next to my billiard balls. And that's the dream. That's when you know you've really made it as a CG creator, when you make it onto Seven's billiard table. At 709 photo. K2000 asks a really important question that I don't think has been answered enough. Why do Americans have Where's Waldo instead of Where's Wally? Now, what's the original? Is Wally the original? We have Wally here in Australia. We say Where's Wally? So all our books say Wally on it. You guys have Waldo. I've never even heard the name Waldo ever. The only place I've ever heard Waldo is from Where's Waldo. Whereas Wally, it's not like a common name at all, but it's sort of like we're aware of it. Actually, like people get called Wally, as in someone who's a bit of a goober. Runs with Scissors remembers punks in the 80s. Yeah, like real punks. I'd go into the city and yeah, they looked like they were off the friggin', like who were those guys? The Sex Pistols. They had safety pins stuck in their cheeks, and they also used to scare me. I guess I easily scared when I was a child. They looked freaky. They had their big boots too. What kind of name is Wally? Asks James. I mean, I don't know. I have some. Okay, here we go. We're talking about the why Americans do things differently. What I want to know about Americans is why don't. Okay, first of all, when did the United States officially adopt the metric system? Do any of you guys know the answer to that question? Like officially, the government. When did the government of the United States of America officially adopt the metric system? I like this sort of trivia. Antoine says, did we ever? Snarkthicon says we don't do it. Never, Maiden Hell says. 7 says 79. It was way before that. According to the source that I looked up, it was 1866 that the United States officially adopted the metric system. So my question is, why does no one use it? I've seen, actually, I mean, it's not too hard to figure out. I've seen how you guys try and teach the metric system in school. It's ridiculous. Is it like you try and translate it with yards and other things? Like that's just a silly way of doing it. The metric system, I'm gonna lose friends here, is obviously superior. I'm not knocking Imperial. I use it as well for certain things. Like I'm aware of feet and inches and yards, and I'm not super familiar with a gallon. I don't really implicitly understand that. But the metric system just makes perfect sense. Everything's in decimals. It's like, and you guys use it as well in certain things, like, you know, in the military you have clicks. If anyone is into illicit narcotics, you're probably all familiar with grams and kilos. Maybe not kilos. Depends on how much you on how serious you are with your drugs. But yeah, it's just like hey, you know, you guys, everyone's used to Imperial over there, so I get it why that's why everyone uses it. But I was just like, why adopt it if you're not actually going to use it? But then no, people that's like I said, like people didn't even know that it was adopted. 7 says, I know what a mile is. I have to Google what a kilometer is. Well, I know what a mile is, and I know what a kilometer is. I know what a yard is. I know what a foot is. I know what a meter is. I know what a centimeter is, millimeter, inch. It's not that hard to learn. The temperature actually is what throws me the worst. The like when you guys say, oh, it's 75 out, I'm just like, I don't understand. I saw a video actually yesterday, and he said he explained it perfectly. 30 is hot, 20 is nice, 10 is cold, 0 is ice. That's it. That's all you need to know when it comes to temperature. 30 is hot, 20 is nice, 10 is cold, 0 is ice. It's like a little rhyme. And that's it. So if you ever see anyone saying it's 45 degrees, like I say in the summer here, we're dying. And I mean, it's super easy. And well, I think it's better because water freezes at 0 and boils at 100. James says that didn't rhyme at all. Well, whatever. I thought it was. Yeah. But yeah, I've seen like charts from like American schools where they're just saying, "Oh, this is the metric system," and it's like a gallon is, I don't know, like 4.27 liters, and they do it like that. So like, how can a kid ever be expected to learn? Friggin' an ounce is 22.784 grams or whatever it is. I don't know, but yeah. See, what makes more sense, J Max, that water freezes at 32 or 0? Yeah, I don't know. I don't see you guys changing anytime soon, so it's all moot anyway. But I think you're the only country left doing it. I think. Could be wrong on that. Alrighty. Hang on. Let me check. Water boils at 107. Well, 100 Celsius, and that's assuming like you're on Earth and not on Venus. But yeah, we still in Australia we measure ourselves in feet and inches. That's just how we do it. And my mother's generation was much more accustomed to miles than kilometers. That's why we sort of learned both here. I think this is done. I mean, I might do some like tonal correction at some point, but I think I'm happy with this. I think all the skulls are in. Let me do the old dun, 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 boom, 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 boom. So yeah, on the page, see this blue area at the top? See, I haven't done anything here. So on the page, that's going to be like 4 or so panels in a little block. That's it starts with a shot coming down, and then he rises up, the old slow like Swamp Thing emerging from the pit, coming out. Simply Green says, doesn't boil at the same temperature on Everest. I wouldn't imagine it would. We K2000, yes. We also measure peen size, I think, in inches. I mean, I do. Ellie Muno says it needs one more skull. Where would I put it? There's no room for any more skulls. I mean, that's it. We're all skulled out. No more skulls. Anton says, this art reminds me of a time when I had sex with a girl. Antoine, keep it clean, please. It's funny, like it looks so much more vibrant in my Photoshop than it does on screen. So like that's actually better because the colors will be better when you see it, even if you like it now. But yeah, that's it. I'm very happy to have that finished. I'll finish the rest of the colors. Thank goodness that'll be a lot more simpler. On the on the 4 panels. I'll try and finish them tomorrow and be able to share this as a page out, pop it on Twitter so you guys can see the full thing. And Snarktacon, can you stop encouraging? Oh my god, I've never heard that. How have I never heard that? Earn the red wings. Oh. Good lord. That is that's something. Maidenhell says needs to be a poster. I am open. Yeah, for real. Let's do it. I mean, I was thinking today, like this really does sort of fit. It ties in with the name, Painted Death. This guy's just dripping in blood, surrounded by death, skulls. Yeah, it works. I like it. I'm very happy with it. I'm glad I could share it with you guys. Seven's got, I think Seven's got the final point. If you can't dust your skull collection, hire a staff to do it, or just get a devoted staff, you know, to do it. But I think that's it for me. I'm going to head in and go hang out with Mel. I'll have a video tomorrow morning. Probably be talking about Gabe getting to 100K. I got a really cool comment from someone who bought my book off eBay today, and I'll probably share that with you as well. And it has to do with Eric July, which I love. I always got to mention Eric July. It's good for the algorithm these days. Yeah. So thank you everyone for hanging out. This was a nice little short distraction. Glad to get the thing done, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right. Bye.
Individually, we are weak, like